Kosygin's gamble, profit, planning, and the last reform. In the heart of the Cold War, behind the walls of secrecy and central planning, the Soviet Union quietly tried to reinvent itself. This is the story of the 1965 Soviet economic reform, also known as the Kosygin Reform, a bold but short-lived attempt to inject profitability and efficiency into the bloodless body of Soviet central planning. After Khrushchev's ousting in 1964, the Soviet Union stood at an economic crossroads. Growth had slowed, stagnation loomed, and planners faced mounting complexity. Into this void stepped Alexei Kosygin, the new premier, alongside theorists like E.G. Lieberman, with a radical idea. What if socialism embraced a hint of the market? The problem was clear. Since the early 1930s, the USSR had run on rigid 5-year plans and a labyrinth of bureaucratic diktats. Managers were rewarded for quantity, not quality. Bonuses were tied to inflated quotas, meaning enterprises often produced more steel rods, not better ones, bigger shoes, not wearable ones. Lieberman's 1962 Pravda article, Plans, Profits and Bonuses, hit like a controlled explosion. He argued that enterprises should be judged not by gross output, but by profitability, rentablenost, and actual sales, realizatia. The idea was heretical. Could profit be socialist? Kosygin thought so. In September 1965, the Central Committee approved the plan. For the first time in decades, managers were told they could think like managers. Enterprises would become the main economic units. Bureaucratic targets dropped from 30 to 9. Directors could now choose product lines, plan investments, even sign contracts. To align incentives, profits would fund 3 internal enterprise pools: the Material Incentive Fund for worker bonuses, the Socio-Cultural and Housing Fund for facilities and housing, and the Production Development Fund for equipment and upgrades. The remaining profits went to Gosbank and the central budget. This wasn't just theory. Pilot reform started in 2 garment factories, Bolshevichka in Moscow and Mayak in Gorky. By early 1966, the number of pilot enterprises ballooned to 400. Within months, 704 had adopted the model. By the end of 1967, 7,000 industrial plants, including all 25 Soviet railways, were on board. In Lviv, a coal mine and 4 factories became poster children for the reform. The mine, newly empowered to adjust its wage system, boosted profitability. Yet cracks soon showed. Suppliers still operated under the old system, sending the wrong inputs or ignoring cost efficiency entirely. Worse, ministries continued issuing contradictory orders. Gosnab, the supply agency, failed to keep pace with decentralized demand. Still, results appeared promising. Between 1966 and 1970, the economy outpaced its previous 5-year plan. Sales per ruble of capital rose. Wages per ruble of output declined. But behind the numbers, central planners worried. Wages had risen faster than productivity. Profit calculations proved distorted. And the culture of hoarding, just in case, hadn't gone away. By 1969, skepticism hardened. Many changes were rolled back or buried in bureaucracy. Officially, the reform was still praised. Unofficially, it was already being dismantled. Kosygin had gambled, trying to graft mathematical logic and cybernetics onto an ideology that had long rejected both. It was a reform born too late, and perhaps in the wrong system altogether. And so, with the economy once again tightening its grip under Brezhnev, the dream of a more rational, incentivized socialism quietly vanished, leaving behind only footnotes, a few temporary gains, and the haunting sense that it could have been different.